I'm Osborne. I work for Electricity Transmission Asset Management in National Grid, and I'm a technical engineer within that team.
Brilliant.
I think some of the main issues around using a smart grid is moving away from what people call real time to more predictive. That seems to, I would say that's the flavour that's kicked in over the last year. Because we're discovering that whilst there is value in real time, the real value is being able to kind of predict what's going to happen in the future. I know it's a challenge, but ultimately that's how we used to operate, and that's kind of the way we still want to be in that arena. And we figure with new technology, with new tools, you can get somewhere into that arena. Plus, we still have got to manage we've still got to be able to design networks that are going to be on the ground for the next 40 years. So there's got to be some element of prediction and understanding around that. So that's probably the thing. Key challenge is about protocols. Common information model. That's an international protocol that's kind of developing, where you've got any form of device-to-device communication. How does that know that you're talking about pressure, temperature, whatever? You're talking about current, or you're talking about kiloamps? What temperature scale are you using? Okay, Kelvin or Fahrenheit. So there's I think developing the common information model and then having those kind of protocols available and readily utilised within new applications, new solutions, is probably a good way to get there. There's another one which is the kind of substation communication protocol, which is the IEC 61850. That's going to be part and parcel of delivering solutions both within and outside of the substation. So that's, I think, protocols, communication protocol is a big part. The main one from a domestic consumer point of view is how do you engage the customer? How do you engage the customer? Because on the whole, most of us are quite idle. We don't really want to have to make all those decisions. We're also used to just paying a fixed tariff, and we've been happy with that. I think it's going to be solutions that make that transition from a very predicted future to a more volatile or uncertain future easier to manage. So energy management within the home, about regulating power, maybe white goods which will have high-tech SIMs in them or RFIDs, such that they'll communicate with other devices, so they come on when the electricity is cheap. Those are probably the money spinning areas. The question is, how do we kind of communicate as a transmission organisation with those devices? What's the right level of aggregation? What's the right level of kind of intermediary service providers? And that's probably a big area, I guess, for the M2M world to look into. I think it's connecting the individual consumer to the big network. The M2M World Congress this year in 2013. The M2M World Congress in 2013, I think, looks as there is more attendees than last year. It was pretty well attended last year, but it was packed in there. Everything has moved on a bit. People have got new challenges, new opportunities. There certainly seems to be a growth in the interest. The questions I've had this year afterwards have been very kind of varied, looking at different types of new applications, possibly exporting ideas outside of the industry. So I think on the whole it's a great networking arena, good opportunity to find new contacts, and maybe even discover areas that we hadn't really considered before.